Okay, hey y'all, I see there's a couple of people here. Um, I think I'm gonna not turn my camera on just because I've had so many cameras in my face over the last 24 hours that I'm just like I'm feeling very exposed right now. Maybe the expose is watching, to the one who wanted to expose me. Oh my Lord, now the more I think about it, ooh, could one of the dudes that was filming me last night be Louis Martin Dion? Wow. That just came into my head. The dude with the feet, could he be Louis Martin Dion? I don't know. I forget his name. All y'all white dudes look alike to me lately. No offense to white dudes or any other dudes. I approve of dudes, but this was just next level wildness. And someone that goes by Crackers and Cheese that has been a little bit aggressive towards me in the past about what they consider me to be doxing people. I'm just identifying people. I'm just saying, look, these are some weird characters that came into my life over the past year because of my support of a certain content creator. And I'm going to say exactly who they told me they were and exactly who I investigated and discovered that they were. And that's not doxing. That's just basic investigating. You throw yourself into a controversy like this, you F around, not to sound like Brennan, Siler Bell, Leighton Fowler, Emerald, but you F around and I find out who the hell you are because I'm not a fool. I am nobody's fool. All right. So appreciate the two people watching. As I said, this Crackers and Cheese, keeps, kind of alternating between criticizing me and then, being all nice to me and stuff. Like, look, girl, I don't know who you are. I don't even know if you're a girl. All I can say is, you do you, boo. You want to go make videos claiming that I'm a evil doxing witch? Go do that. Accuse me of extreme witchcraft, like they accuse Beyonce of. And I know people are going to say, people are going to make cracks about BJ being my idol if I say my gaslighting era is over. But sometimes BJ just puts shit into words that it's taken me 54 years to realize what those words are until she says them out of her 30 whatever year old mouth. So is she my idol? No. But is she somebody I want my daughter to look up to? Yes, she is. Because she's a little older than my daughter, and my daughter still has the opportunity to do anything with her life and more, and I'm at a different phase in my life. So if my obituary in a year or two says, yeah, the doxing diva or whatever the hell, I don't care. I don't give a shit. This is a human rights issue. Again, not to quote BJ, but yeah, I'm quoting BJ. This is a human rights issue. This is not about, oh, I'm a private citizen and Discord is great and blah, 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 blah. Go be a private citizen in somebody else's Discord. Don't have me turn mine over to you thinking you're going to close it down and then thinking I'm going to cover shit up for you after you go suck up to some British biatch. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. So, like I said, Hot Snakes Media was here yesterday in the Merrimack Valley, let's say. Several towns here in the Merrimack Valley of southern New Hampshire and northern Massachusetts. I don't know who all they interviewed. I know the only people they claimed to me that they interviewed, at least the crew that was with me. There could have been other crews here. Got to remember that. The crew that was with me seems to be the same exact crew that interviewed Jamie after flying her up here from a southern state on the East Coast of the United States of America. And it's funny because they flew her up here on a direct flight and she was golden. And then she couldn't figure out how to get the Uber. And this is, earlier today I said, this is Jamie's story to tell. I'm just telling my part of Jamie's story. If Jamie ever wants to tell her story, she's got a 25,000 plus subscribers on her YouTube channel. She can do whatever the hell she damn wants. She might have even done that today. I don't know. I haven't checked her thing. I was too busy catching up on sleep because I've been through hell the last few days. And these are first world problems, but having extreme heat levels to the point where you can't even be inside your own apartment that you pay $1,800 a month for. So for 3 days straight, not having access to air conditioning, that it's part of your 1,800. It should cover at least one working air conditioner in the unit. and to be ignored for 3 days while these friggin' hot snakes from God knows where are like, we drove up for 6 hours from Connecticut and New Jersey and Florida and then. Okay, and that's my problem because what? Because I signed some bogus release saying I'd be here. Nah, I only got a B in my shitty law school's contracts class, but I know defenses like incapacity, undue influence, duress, unconscionability. I know those defenses. Okay, so like, oh my God, it was intrusive, and I really kind of hit on that early this morning, but like I was working on less than 5 hours sleep over 2 nights, combined. And now I just caught up on about like 3 or 4 hours sleep. So I'm feeling a little bit more lucid. And I just want to get this out before they start sending their, cease and desist and all this stuff, which again, I'm going to ignore anything from them the same way I ignored shit from Brennan and the rest of the Carney animals, the Carney Animal Brigade or whatever they call themselves, the Carney Army. So it's Jamie's Animals and the Carney Army. So combined, those two channels have what, over 30,000 people, and I got what, 200 and a couple? How's that a fair fight? When y'all are sending all your cease and desist and accusing me of stalking and doxing and all this kind of stuff, I mean, wow. Okay, so I'm going to just get to this latest comment from Crackers and Cheese and just trying to break it down word for word of what we got. So we got here, Crackers and Cheese 1234 says 3 hours ago, I have questions/concerns, but I missed your live, period. I wonder why they sent you an email stating they needed you to be Dahlia's voice, but you said they barely mentioned her. I can address that very, very directly and simply. That's a simple statement, not phrased as a question, but I can answer it as if it were a question. In my opinion, the reason why they sent me an email stating that they needed me to be Dahlia's voice, and then they barely mentioned her in my actual interview with her, is because at the time they emailed me 23 days ago, Jamie had basically told them to go F off. And so they were using me as an alternate to Jamie, I guess. And then once I told Jamie about it and said, listen, would you be willing to interview too? Because, I feel like you have a lot more knowledge about Dahlia and you actually allegedly spoke to Dahlia. I didn't. I said, I'm happy to, do this, like have your back with this. Like, I know you don't want them coming into your place where you live any more than I want them coming into mine, but I'm happy to host this if it'll get us past this so we can actually get to where the fuck is Dahlia, excuse my language. And when the hell is she going to speak? And are they going to have her? I mean, are they going to do to Dahlia what they did to Natalia? Are they going to build up all this intrigue over a season about where are the twins, and talking to everybody about the twins, and then boom, at the end of the first season, be like, oh, the twins were just spotted, arrested in Irvine, California, and then, you see a mugshot of one of them and a picture of another one that doesn't even look like them. And then we have to wait, 6 months to get the next season. By that time, it'll be like 2026. And World War III will have already broken out in the real world. Where the hell are these girls? God damn it. Why? Jamie pulled out after she said to Lima, look, I'm not going to do an interview with Hot Snakes unless you let me talk to Dahlia. And then Jamie talked to Dahlia and she was so overwhelmed, kind of how I was so overwhelmed yesterday when these freaking people came here and like kept insisting, well, we'll do this for you. We'll do this for you. Please. Where the fuck is Dahlia? And what the fuck is up with Dia's face and alleged arrest recently? Okay? You can tell me to cease and desist all you want, but I can keep asking those questions till you fucking give me an answer that shuts me up. Because, I am not going to be used as a pawn. Like the first thing we were kind of talking about with this was this whole Natalia Grace thing. And I'm talking to one girl about it, and I'm just kind of saying, and then this dude butts in, he goes, oh, well, she had a gag order. This dude is the same one that was like obsessed with feet, okay? Because he goes, she had a gag order. I'm like, who had a gag order? He goes, Natalia, she had a gag order. That's why we couldn't talk to her the first season. I go, well, what are they going to do if she speaks? Like the girl's like literally a disabled, tiny person what's going to happen if you speak to her when she has a gag order? What, you're afraid you're going to get sued? I mean, that is so exploitative. That is the freakiest thing ever. That is a production house. Okay. Was the place where Linda and Dahlia and Dia were living back in December 2022, was that part of the Hot Snakes production? Was that an apartment that was set up by Hot Snakes? We know Bam was interviewing around that time, thanks to Go Do Your Own Research, aka Sophie Robson. Thank you for that little tidbit. She picked up on Bam talking about some documentary back in 2022 before we heard this thing about Hot Snakes and, saw proof that Naima Holmes, or whatever her name is, was at Lima's birthday party. So, all right. So I hope that answers your question, Crackers and Cheese, about why they sent me an email stating they needed me to be Dahlia's voice. It's because Jamie said, look, I heard Dahlia's voice on the phone and I ain't participate in your damn docuseries. Like, that's not going to help Dahlia in any way for me to participate. If Jamie was going to believe Dahlia's word at face value, then there was no benefit to Dahlia for Jamie being interviewed about Dahlia if Dahlia was going to live her best life, as I guess Dahlia convinced Jamie on this alleged phone call that apparently Brennan has a recording of, but Brennan's not going to release because Brennan's denying having the recording of it, just like Brennan denies every fucking thing she's done in her life. Sorry, not sorry, Brennan. All right, moving on. It sounds like they said what they thought would get you to say yes. No, I disagree with that statement. I respectfully, that's, I suppose, a fair interpretation from your limited vantage point, whoever the hell you are, Crackers and Cheese 1, 2, 3, 4. But respectfully, no. They said what any effective person in their position would say. So I'm not a fool. Like, I can see through shit that gets me to say what they think would get me to say yes. I had extensive follow-up calls with this person after that email. And no, I didn't record those calls because I live in a state where it requires all party consent to recording, and I have no idea where this person lives, okay? And even if I knew where this person lived, I wouldn't tell you. And even if I knew where this person lived, 90% of the time they're on the road at different, production shoots. So I could have been in a state where, so I don't record people's calls without consent. What I remember from these calls with this young woman named Georgia Daly was a few things. One, she went to the exact same school that I went to, the exact same program that I went to. And after further researching her, I found out that one of the two people in the couple that founded the company went to the exact same school that Georgia and I both went to, in a very similar program to the one that I went to and the one Georgia went to. And that he was probably a year behind me, if that, in that program. And we could have even had classes together. I don't know. I don't remember the dude's name. But when I look at his resume and I see we've worked for similar employers, I'm like, all right, well, now I'm listening. Because now this doesn't sound as fly by night as the name Hot Snakes Media would imply. Now I'm researching these people and their backgrounds, and I'm saying, all right, as a professional courtesy to fellow alumni of my school, Go Terriers, I'm going to hear these people out and see what comes to pass, and also reopen the possibility that maybe Jamie would speak under different circumstances than what they were offering her in the first place, which I found to be unconscionable and deceitful, in my opinion. And that's not criticizing Hot Snakes Media. That's just saying the circumstances that Jamie was describing to me, in my opinion, seemed unreasonable, intrusive, and like a setup that Jamie would be left holding the bag afterwards and could possibly really harm Jamie, because they had promised her some trip to LA where she was going to, hang out with Brennan and C-Files and meet Mark Leda and all this, and Lima and Dahlia, and everybody was going to be, hanging out by the pool. And then it's like, oh, sorry, Jamie, the budget has changed. So we're going to come visit, we're going to send 5 people to come visit you where you live in Georgia. And Jamie's just like, what? So that all happened in the meantime, between time. All right. Okay. So it sounds odd to you. I can see it sounds odd to you, but I hope this context has given you a little bit more insight into the nuances of this whole ridiculously developing situation. Just saying, it throws up red flags for me. Okay. I mean, there were a lot of red flags all over the place for me, but I used my discernment, and I felt as though, if we're going to use the chess game analogy, I felt as though up until the moment this whole heat wave happened and they kept pushing the dates back, which is what they do. They keep pushing dates back months after months after months. They keep pushing dates back because you got to remember they're working on multiple productions at one time. They may have a deadline for something that's supposed to be coming out in a month or two. They got to get that all finished up before they can start worrying about stuff that's not coming out until next year. Okay. But in the meantime, again, where the fuck is Dahlia? Where the fuck is Dia? Okay. It's not about waiting for their their grand premiere. This is a human rights issue of people that have not been seen in many hundreds of days. Okay. And with all of with all the 200,000 plus of this, we're not BJ's army, quit calling us that. With all those of us who care about this issue, I would think somebody would have posted something somewhere showing, body cam of Dia Dima's alleged arrest in Irvine, California a couple months ago by now. Like the same person who even told Jamie about it, who goes, who hides under some kind of an alias mask and claims to have been part of the Discord, or maybe like knows friends that were part of the Discord or something. Like, people keep saying, why do I keep talking about the Discord? Because the Discord was a fucking op. It was a fucking infiltration. And it seemed to me like it was multiple infiltrations. And so on the one hand, I do agree with Steph's theory on that. I just find it really rich that she's claiming I was an infiltrator of what, her fucking bitch ass community? No, thank you. I was trying to do what I thought was going to help BJ. Turns out all it was doing was helping Hot Snakes. Because Steph was letting any and everyone in there that you say, oh, I just love your poetry, High Priestess. She wasn't using any kind of fucking discernment as to who was in there for what reasons. So yeah, I mean, okay, you said they were filming your feet. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, they're filming my feet, and the reason they said they were filming my feet is because they said they filmed BJ's feet. Was BJ aware that they were filming her feet the way they were filming mine? I mean, was it part of some running joke about Diane Schneider? I don't know. I wasn't there when they filmed BJ. And apparently the reason why BJ hasn't publicly announced that she even was filmed by them is because of these onerous, ridiculous, I wouldn't call it an NDA the way I read it, but these sort of onerous, ridiculous release forms that I signed. And believe me, I've worked in production before. And, I've worked in production before there was social media, first of all. And I know I've probably been a part of the other end of having people sign onerous, ridiculous. I mean, I remember I put my daughter in a commercial one time when she was from my employer. Okay. She didn't get paid, but my daughter and my friend's daughter went to the same preschool, and they were looking for little kids to talk about the PBS series Nova, the science series. So my daughter did this promo that ran for years and won awards for WGBH. Were we compensated in any way? Hell no. Hell no. I probably didn't even get paid time off for work to go bring her over to the studio to get her face on there. But it was adorable, and she loved it, and everybody loved it, and it had her full name, and she was a little local celebrity for a couple of years because they were all having, her first name, last name, government name, not going to say it, on Gravity. So let's just say my daughter's name was Jane Doe. Okay. So Jane Doe on Gravity. And then it shows this cute little 4-year-old girl's face, and she's just giddy and like talking about gravity and the universe and stuff. And she's, it was adorable. It was adorable. If anybody has a copy of that, please, send it to me, because I lost everything during these years that I was allegedly a privileged homeless person. Okay. I lost all my memories of being a mother. Not only did they take my kids away, they took my fucking memories away. All right. So fuck you, Bridget Bully Buster. Fuck your bitch ass. Fuck you. Okay. Bridget's probably with fucking Hot Snakes. All right. Yeah. So they were filming my feet, and they said there was some connection to BJ's feet. They mentioned Crocs. They mentioned BJ wearing Crocs. I was wearing sandals. It got really creepy in the last hour I was there. Why didn't I get to see Jamie? I think because I didn't push hard enough. I think because I was somehow, a couple of things. I I was afraid the whole thing was a setup, to be honest. I was afraid Jamie was going to serve me with some kind of stalking order. Like, that's how fucking weird this has gotten for me. So like the fact that Jamie was in a jurisdiction where I know the cops as well or better as I know the cops in my own town. Because you got to remember, in Massachusetts, you go like a half a mile in one direction, you cross a street, you're going from one police jurisdiction to another. So like, all this time when this bozo C-Files out in Washington is trying to like get me served with all his bozo nonsense stuff, I'm getting phone calls from my police department. They're like, hey, Bonnie, we need to serve you. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, I'm not in Georgetown. Like, okay, well, let us know when you are. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And then like days later, yeah, Bonnie, we still need to serve you. I'm like, yeah, still not in Georgetown, busy in Haverhill. You know what I mean? And then did they ever call the Haverhill cops and have them serve you? No. But like, I'd go to the Haverhill police. I'd be like, yeah, man, like this is what's going down. And they're just like, okay, no, you're cool. You're cool. You're cool. And so right after I went and dropped off the stuff for Jamie, I went into this Dunkin' Donuts right next door to the hotel where she was staying. And like within 30 seconds after I sit down with all my stuff that that I'm known for sitting down and doing my freaking live streams from Dunkin' Donuts all over this area, Haverhill PD shows up right in the Dunkin' Donuts. Now, is that unusual? No. Police show up in Dunkin' Donuts like all the time. It's kind of the trope, right? The police and the donuts. Like, I mean, anyway, if I had $1 for every donut and every police we could have our own little Hot Snakes media empire. But anyway, I digress as usual. So this dude comes in from Haverhill PD and I'm like, wait, what the what? And he's like ordering his coffee and he's like talking to the girls behind the counter. And I look over at him and all the cops look the same to me, but there's only one me, right? So I look at him, I make eye contact, and I'm like, wait, what did I do now? I'm like, are you trespassing me? Are you kicking me out of here? He's like, no, you're good. You're good. I'm like, okay, because shit's getting a little weird right now. He's like, yeah, no. He's like, you're good. Have a good day. Be safe, whatever. I'm like, stay cool. I'm like, okay, fine, cool. All right, so the cops are cool. Haverhill PD has put eyes on me in this whole weirdo situation where they've just flown some girl up from Georgia who had been calling the Georgetown PD. Like, I was just scared to death of Jamie Marie Gilmore being in Georgetown, Massachusetts for any kind of split second after the resources she has depleted from this tiny little town's budget. She and the Carney Army have depleted with all their, bogus phone calls about me. So I wanted shit to go down in Haverhill. Then Hot Snakes moves the mark completely and starts talking about North Andover, yet another freaking police jurisdiction. Okay. I have no ties to North Andover. If it were Andover, sure, I went to law school in and I went to law school in Andover. If it were Methuen, sure, I used to live in Methuen. If it were Lawrence, sure, I got people in Lawrence PD that I can drop their names and be like, look, this shit's going weird. But I don't know a damn person in North Andover. I mean, I probably know people that live there and stuff, but I don't know anything about the infrastructure there. I don't know anything about the police department there. I know nothing, okay? I thought it was the next town over. It's actually 2 towns over. So it goes Georgetown, Boxford, North Andover. All right. So I was 2 towns away where they like suddenly decide that they're going to film on this vineyard 2 towns away from me. Like rather than at the hotel where they're staying in Haverhill, they're adding yet another jurisdiction into this. And I'm like, this is just seeming like sketchy as fuck. Like, can't we reschedule to a time when there's not a fucking heat wave and I have access to air conditioning? It was just wild. Oh God. Okay. So that's why I didn't get to see Jamie, because I went to go try to see her and I thought she was asleep in her room because that's what she told me. She usually goes to sleep around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. But no sooner does she get there, then the production team shows up and they have her like sitting for an interview down in the lobby. And so I walk through the lobby, go up to the front desk with all the stuff I was going to leave for her. And the lobby's like, oh, she's right over there. Do you want to tell her she's there? And I was like, no. Because by this point I could hear that there were a bunch of people talking. I was like, oh shit, that's Hot Snakes. I don't want them to see me here. Because again, are they going to fucking have, some kind of restraining order against me? I mean, this has been going on for so fucking long. Like, is Lima here? Like, I was like, oh my God, is Lima Jabremovich here and like ready to lock me up and put me in a conservatorship? I don't know. Okay. Crackers and cheese, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds like you have a real privileged little life, just like little Miss Bridget, Bully Buster Bonnie, beware of Bonnie Dwyer. So perhaps your life doesn't look like mine, but please, for God's sakes, don't try to stop me from identifying players in this harassment against me. Yeah, I said it. Harassment against me due to Stephanie Caban's inability to fucking prove who she says she is, much less who all these 50 other people in her goddamn Discord were. Sorry, I have several questions, LOL. Once you have your AC working, it's working. Maybe you could do another live about it, like Q&A. I'm doing that right now. I said all good questions, and yes, we'll do another live soon after the AC is restored. And then Little Miss First World Problems replies. And again, I don't know if they're a she or a he or what, or they, I don't know, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me, not my problem, not my business. My pronouns are me, myself, and y'all. Crackers, she says, great! Exclamation point. I have odd work hours and kids, so hopefully I won't miss it. If you post the date ahead of time like you usually do, my odds are much better of making it. Well, don't know what the odds were in your favor right now, but if you're one of the 7 people watching, welcome to my channel, Hot Crackers and Snake Cheese, whatever your name is. Any other questions? I see the Clown Archives is here. Hello, Clown Archives. Good to see you. All right, I'm taking any questions. Y'all can rewind and post any questions in the chat. I'm here. Looks like I've been live for almost a half hour, but I'm willing to stay for another 5-10 minutes. If 6 people watching, 1 thumbs up, have any questions, I'm willing. I'm here for it. Just let me know. Who has you blocked, Clown Archives? Who has you blocked? Crackers and Cheese has you blocked? Or Bully Busters, Clown Archives? Who has you blocked? Oh, I know Steph has you blocked, right? Could you be more specific, Clown? I don't know if Clown Archives, I don't know if I have a delay or subscribers only on this meeting, on this stream. I don't think I do, because I'm doing it through Zoom right now. Oh, both. Okay, so wait a minute. So Clown Archives is saying that Bully Busters has Clown Archives blocked. Crackers and Cheese has Clown Archives blocked. Steph also has Clown Archives blocked. Huh. Yeah, I can't see anybody but you in the chat. I see 6 people watching Clown Archives, but you're the only person besides me that I see in the chat right now. So if other people are trying to chat, they must have me blocked too, because I don't see anybody else. And again, I have no mods anymore, and I don't want any mods anymore. I just want to get past Hot Snakes and back to where the fuck is Dahlia, where the fuck is Diadema, and why the fuck is Hot Snakes participating in this Lima propaganda machine. Yeah, free Dahlia, exactly. Free Dahlia and fuck Brennan. Brennan, who records every fucking thing, now claims she doesn't have this recording of Dahlia that is like priceless to hundreds of thousands of people. We need a new word for freaking whore after that stunt. Brennan, Seiler, Bell, Leighton, Fowler, fucking ball gag biatch from hell. Where the fuck is Dahlia? Let Dahlia speak. Does Dahlia have a gag order? Is that what Mr. Foot Fetish Dan Snyder Jr., Dan Snyder III? Yeah, that's not going to go public. Word up. The only way I'd love your username anymore that's not going to go public is if you spelled go, G-E-A-U-X, like we from Louisiana spelled it. But otherwise, you're cool AF with me. And by cool, I mean literally and figuratively. The temperature has dropped like 15 degrees in the last 15 minutes. It's raining. It's like literally, I was stuck in hell for 3 days over these people, and now I'm finally out of it. The ball gag puzzle stinks from the carny. Oh, girl, you're Linda now. Come on, Linda. Hold up, Linda, as Rabbit would say. Hold up, Linda. Hold up, Linda Omar, not your real name. It's so funny. All day yesterday when Jamie was here, I was like, we got trolls in the same area code. 978, baby. Trolls gathering in 978. The gathering of hate in the 978. Sorry, I'm not trying to culturally appropriate rap, but Steph did it first, so I'm just mocking. I'm mocking a British person culturally appropriating African American music. I hope that's okay. On Juneteenth, I'm sorry, yesterday was Juneteenth, so it was like a fucking federal holiday, man. You know what I mean? And like it was just killing me, Smalls. It was killing me. Jamie seems like a sweet soul. Jamie is I only saw Jamie out of the corner of my eye. And then she sent me pictures, and then we were like literally like trains, planes, and automobiles. Like I was in $100 Uber and she was in $120 taxi, and we just missed each other by like 5 minutes. I mean, it was just that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like we tried every bit to get and see each other. Like I even tried to get on her flight. That's how much I wanted to see her. Like I was just going to fly down with her and then fly back because, I just wanted to be able to chat with her and debrief and everything. But that was not in Hot Snake's plan at all, of course. Everything was on their terms. And I get it. I get it. They were paying for her flight. I wasn't. She wasn't. So yeah, it's on their terms. All right. Linda Omar says, this not can go public. Me no want to be public. Me no have citizenship. Well, that's all right. Some of my favorite exes still don't have citizenship because they wouldn't even marry me. They were so scared of me to get, they could have gotten full ride citizenship and all the glory, but yeah, I rarely dated citizens in my 20s and 30s. It's only since my later years that I started dating randos like cops and Broadway producers and other exploitative types. So, all right. I mean, I appreciate the clown and this not can go public being here. Looks like we're winding down because there's only 4 people still watching. 2 of y'all are in the chat. Appreciate you both in the chat. Oh, 5 now. Wow. Okay. All right. I got no curfew, so I just don't really have much more to say unless there's specific questions. And again, I got nowhere else to be, nothing else to do but this, and I'd really rather get past it and quit talking about freaking hot snakes from today onward. Okay. Bonnie, I'm gay. Is that okay? I'm celebrating Pride Month. Oh yeah. I mean, my sister was gay. A lot of my, let's see, I'm trying to think. One of my, one of the citizens I've been in like a 15-year weirdo relationship with, I think is bi. I mean, it's all cool. It's all good. All good. Happy Pride, y'all. Happy Pride. Love you too, boo. Yeah, I mean, I used to really be into Pride. Lately, I feel like it's just gotten political, and so I don't, celebrate the way I used to. But to me, Pride was just like Boston's version of Mardi Gras. You know what I mean? Like Boston's such a stuck-up place. Like St. Patrick's Day ain't no fun. Freaking Patriots 575th Super Bowl parade ain't no fun in the middle of January. But yeah, Pride in June, where we're all running around wearing our beads, having our drinks, loving one another. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Like, and when they went and dug up pictures of BJ from Boston Pride, with some girl, like, I mean, that could have easily been me. I don't remember ever kissing BJ, but if I saw her on the street during Pride, girl, and found out she was from Louisiana, you could be damn sure I would have been kissing that bitch. So yeah, I just think people are getting a little too political on shit that has nothing to do with political. Of course. I mean, it's not even accepting. It's like, good Lord. I mean, I'm lucky people accepted me. Put it this way, okay? My parents had 4 kids, all right? They had the youngest was a gay woman, many of whose best friends are now trans men, okay? Their second youngest is someone who has struggled with very difficult addictions and a lot of other problems his whole life. The third youngest has alleged developmental disabilities that make, Gypsy Rose Blanchard look like her life was a bed of roses with Dee Dee Blanchard, okay, in my opinion. I hope mom's not watching right now. And then there's me. And believe me, I am the biggest disappointment to my parents. So who am I to judge somebody based on their sexuality? Absolutely not. How was the snake take? Were they nice? Did they feed you? Good question. Okay. Individually, I had no problem with any of the 4 individuals I met on this shoot. Individually, they were fine. But being ganged up by 4 people, don't matter how nice each and every one of them is individually, it is fucking intrusive. And not having someone there, like if I had been able to be in the next room while Jamie was going through this, and she could have just come out and been like, oh my God, you know, and vice versa. Like if we could have had each other there to support each other, that would have made the difference. But they didn't want that. They wanted us each on edge, and they wanted us each under their control. Okay. So yes, they were nice, but they were nice because they had a mission to fulfill, and they were going to be as nice as it was. When I was trying to back out of their mission, oh, they were not nice at all. They were like, we came up here, you signed an agreement, blah, 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 blah. Please tell us what do you need us to do? We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. I'm like, too little, too late, bitch. Like, I've been telling you this since Monday that this was going to be a problem, and you weren't listening to me. And now I'm telling you, I will not do it on these terms. And then I finally just reluctantly agreed because I just didn't want this to blow up any further. So I went ahead and did it. And at the very, very, very end, you know, they like after they like had me where they wanted me and everything, they tried to offer me a bottle of water. I don't drink out of plastic bottles. If I'm going to drink bottled water, it's going to be, you know, in a glass bottle. They didn't have anything nice like that there. So no, I'm not taking your fucking bitch ass plastic water bottles. No, thank you. Hot Snakes Media. That's all they offered me. And then, so I said, no, thank you. But I ended up leaving my freaking Dunkin' Donuts cup there because they said I couldn't have any logos on screen. So I didn't bring the cup with me to be able to drink my iced tea that I had in it. And then I ended up leaving it behind. And they're like, oh no, we didn't see it when we were cleaning up. So that was something I had just bought that day for $15 plus the tea itself, which was probably another $4 or $5. That was $20 there. I lost doing their bidding. So am I bitter? Yeah, I'm fucking bitter. I'm fucking bitter about it all. And until they, you know, until I have a court date to have them try to shut me up, I'm going to keep being bitter on the daily about it. And maybe that'll take some of the heat off Little Miss Stephanie Caban for a few days. And then they started talking about ordering Raising Cane's and with pizza and this and that and the other. And they're like sending one person out to go get the, you know, get the food. And then at the very, very end, they're like, oh, well, you know, she should be back here in a few seconds with the food. I'm like, no, girl, I'm going to get tacos. They're like, oh, gosh, well, you know, gosh, we would have gotten tacos. I'm like, well, you didn't even ask. And no, thank you. I'm going to go have some tacos and tequila and forget about this whole thing. Like, you know, like, well, we'll get you an Uber there. I'm like, all right, just don't follow me there. Like, honestly, I got to go debrief with my people about this. So yeah, I left just as the pizza was arriving and the Raising Cane's was arriving. I was like, oh, fun fact, Raising Cane's started on LSU college campus. That's where BJ went. Like, and they're just like, okay, yeah, we love Raising Cane's. Like they had no personality. They're just industry types, and they're young, and they're like younger than my children, and they have really high paying, sexy jobs, and they just don't give a shit about anything but getting their job done. And that's cool. That's how the world goes round. So no, I did not get to meet Jamie. No, I did not. Clown Archives. Did I sign something? Yeah, I signed a lot of things, and I signed them under duress, and I glanced at them and I thought, all right, I'll sign it now, and I'll have a lawyer look it over when and if they send me a copy of it. You know, I'm not gonna like give them any more friggin' reasons to be an asshole to me. I'll sign their bullshit and then I'll move on and ignore it. Did they have the take? No, they did not have the take thing. They kind of did virtual cues. It was weird. You know, they have their own lingo and everything. And like I said, I've been around production for decades. I mean, I was in a couple of TV productions when I was a kid, and then my kid was in a couple of TV productions when she was a kid. Like, this ain't my first shoot whatsoever. It was just my first shoot under these kind of circumstances. And I have good friends that work for Max. Well, one of them, it's a couple. One of them works for an organization that we both used to work for, and her husband works for Max on contract, on location. He goes all over the country, all over the world to do these similar type of shoots like what they were doing. And this friend of mine owns an Airbnb. And I had said to these people on Monday, look, I booked 2 nights in their Airbnb. Here's where it is. Y'all can do my interview there. Oh, no, that's not going to work for us because Jamie's going to be here. And this. I'm like, okay, so now I have to unbook that. And now my friends are out the money that I was going to pay them. And now they're out the publicity that this would have given them. And now y'all are out a decent location where we could have all gotten this done in a timely manner without all this back and forth bullshit. So I don't know how I got love. 7 steps. It's way past Steph's bedtime. Uber. Yeah, they paid for one Uber. No, sorry, they paid for 2. They reimbursed me for one Uber that I took under duress, and then they put me in an Uber on their account. So yeah, I guess technically they paid for Uber, but that was not a benefit to me. That was just compensating me for an unfortunate cost. And quite frankly, I would have walked if I could just have the damn Dunkin' Donuts cutback and the ice and the iced tea instead of their freaking glass of tap water that I finally asked them for, when they just kept having me there, like close up on my face, close up on my feet, close up on my chest. It was fucking intrusive. It was disgusting. What winery was it? I think, let me look the name of it up. I had never heard of it before, but it was cute. My God, the lightning is right in my face. I'm probably getting struck by lightning while I'm doing this. So y'all, please remember me fondly if you do. Let's see, winery. Marble Ridge Winery. Craft wines made in New England by our small batch wines. Yeah, I had never heard of it before, but it's really cute. I mean, it's really cute. Yeah, it was intrusive AF. Yeah, I mean, there's a pool. It's like a farm with the vineyards over here and a bunch of different buildings, and one of them's big and nice and has a pool, and then there's like little off buildings that have like little studio cottages and stuff. It's adorable. I mean, it's adorable, but on a hot day like it was very buggy. It wasn't like right on the ocean. Like the place I had booked was right on the freaking ocean. Okay. And it had air conditioning. But even without the air conditioning, we would have been cool because we were right near the ocean. And they just didn't get that. They didn't speak my language. Do you think they did that so it could juice you up? I don't know what that means, Clown Archives. It sounds kind of scary. Juice you up. They didn't offer me any alcohol, that's for sure. I mean, I do like beer. I like wine. But it's funny how Jamie was making Jamie is really funny. Jamie has some really interesting jokes that I'm still trying to figure out. Like Jamie had this Haitian taxi driver on the way up here, and she had me on speakerphone talking to him in my broken Creole. And then she said something about my Haitian roommate. I'm like, Jamie, did you bring the taxi driver up to your hotel room, girl? What the hell are you trying to tell me? So I don't know. Jamie's an interesting character. But then when I gave Jamie this big giant mug that says "Born to be Queen" that I was going to send to BJ, but I gave it to Jamie instead with little Donnie, the baby reindeer, tucked inside of it. And she says to the Hot Snakes people, "Oh, look, Bonnie gave me a mega pint." And they didn't get it at first, but she was talking about the Amber Heard trial. So, and I have like that whole Black Mass production. That's a whole other rabbit hole we can go down some other day. Jamie is very smart, but like me and like a lot of us, Jamie is neurodivergent, and I identify as being neurodivergent. And people like us who are neurodivergent need a little extra TLC, and that's what peer support is all about. Is like each of us with our unique neurodivergency being able to say, okay, like I get what that looks like for her, and like newsflash, hey, Hot Snakes, it might be good for Jamie to take a minute break right now because she's taking her medication at this time. You know what I mean? Like she's not on your freaking schedule. Like she is a human being with her own rights and stuff. Like like, the same, I don't know. Yeah, Johnny. Oh God. Don't even get me started, Johnny. Johnny, he hit me. Wait, was that Brennan or Amber saying that? I don't know, Jamie. Were you parroting Brennan or Amber? Because they both have exes named Johnny. Steph Bryn Carnes. So yeah, I mean, would I do it again? Yes, I would. I would just make demands. I would make demands. And if those demands weren't met, I'd walk away. Michelle won. Oh gosh, yeah, Michelle 1L. There you go, Michelle 1L. Which is funny because 1L is the first year of law school. So like I wouldn't even Michelle 1L wouldn't even get a 121 on the freaking LSAT. That's how dumb that bitch is. But yeah, Michelle 1L. We'll call her Michelle 1L. Just 777777777. What? Bonnie the Bully reminds me so much of the original Just 7777. I don't know. Witchy sis, witchy been MIA, but that don't mean she ain't witching around in the background. Anybody else want to come up from the lurky lurks? Steph made fun of everybody. Not to make fun of Rabbit, but Steph made fun of everybody. That's what I meant to ask and didn't, is if they had interviewed or were going to interview Rabbit, because they did tell me they were out in Colorado at one point, and I know Rabbit says she's in the CO. So a couple other people that are related to this out in Colorado, maybe they got an interview too. I don't know. They all made new Trolls accounts. Trolls in different area accounts. I was trying to say to my friend at Barrio last night, the bartender that I get my tacos and tequila from after I go through something like this. I was trying to explain the whole thing to him, and he's like, wait, now what now? He's like, I know you've been telling me about this for a long time. Okay, I'm gonna show this message, Clown Archives, but YouTube was trying to censor you, not me. So please don't be too vulgar. Look, I respect your sexuality, Clown Archives, but again, please don't be misogynist. Whether or not you identify as a woman, please don't be misogynist. So I get what you're saying there, and I agree with the sentiment, but I just don't want to offend other people, because other people have come to me like, sometimes the Clown Archive says that hurts my feelings, and sometimes I think I just don't want people to feel uncomfortable, as I don't want you to feel uncomfortable with the Clown Archives. So I'm glad you asked me that question about Pride Month. Happy Pride. Everybody's welcome at Clown, but everybody's welcome at Pride except the clowns. Okay? Love is love, except when you paint your face to look like a freaking animal and act like an asshole, in my opinion. There's something else I wanted to say. Oh boy. Oh, so I was trying to tell him, I'm like, well, I said, I'll send you a link to a couple of videos. I said, I'll try to make a video that gives a TLDR on it. I said, but basically, I'll sing you one of the songs that came out of this. And I'm like, catfishing, did it, hook, line, and sinker. And he's like, okay. He's like, so you were catfished? I'm like, yeah, I was catfished, but then somebody else wrote a song claiming that I was the catfish. He's like, oh, girl, this is too much. He's like, get out of here. Get out of here. I like your paid subs. Very cute. Yep. Yep. Catfishing, hook, line, and sinker. Anything's possible. Yeah, anything's possible in your twisted, whacked out, high as a kite imagination, Stephanie Coban. possible, and I can write a poem that makes a. Ugh. Laughter is indeed the best medicine. Oh gosh, not the ball gag. Not the ball gag. I'm going to show this one too, Clown Archives, but YouTube's getting a little frisky right now. They're not liking your lingo. Yeah, AI pick catfish Brennan, 100%. See, I don't see why Steph kept showing all the friggin' AI pics of Brennan instead of showing the actual one where she didn't show anything from that video where she interviewed Brennan. Which again, it's like Steph, you got all that footage. Like, did you already license it to Hot Snakes? It's just a question. Questions ain't defamation. Is that why Steph has all her stuff private and is claiming I'm the problem? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Your covert narcissism sisters. Michelle 2L or 1L? Michelle never made it to 2L, girl. Michelle never even made it past orientation at the school that lets you in without even taking the LSAT. And I know because I was there. Steph is Hot Snakes. Well, I think Steph is probably Steph is just Steph. But yeah, I think yeah, I mean, okay. Again, Clown Archives, I put your message through this last one right here. I don't particularly like it, but I don't censor stuff, but that's kind of the threshold right there. The next time Google tries to block one of your comments, I'm just going to hide it, okay? And I'm not going to read it. I'm just, again, it's Friday night, people are a little frisky, it's all good. Hopefully it's all grown-ups here. I don't think I put this on 18 plus. I just don't want anybody watching this with their kids nearby, especially like Brennan watching it with her kids hearing all this about her. I don't want that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Hey, Base Girl, how you doing? Welcome to the shit show. Can y'all hear that thunder and lightning? I've never been so happy to hear thunder and lightning in my life after the days we've had it here with this heat. Hey, Base Girl, did you hear any rumblings about people talking to Hot Snakes back, a few months back before your rude awakening to the cuckery fuckery? And just to be clear, Base Girl is still a fan of Mr. Fowler. She just doesn't like Mrs. Gemstoner. In my most recent communications with X, aka Base Girl. Yeah, I hear you, X. No problem. You're welcome here, X. You're all good. Hey, Pam. Nice to see you, Pam. All right, so Pam and X. So Pam, you were Peaceful Pug, and X thought you were dead. So Pam, not only, I'm sorry, so X, not only is Pam, aka Peaceful Pug, still alive, but they're right here in my in my chat. Do tell, Pam. Tell us all about it, Pam. Fair enough, X. I'm not going to block that message, even though Google tried to block it. And just so you know, Steeples has 2 copyright strikes against me, but I've fought them both, and there's a couple more days before they both get, thrown out because he's misusing copyright law. And he's required to file an action against me here in Massachusetts if he wants Google to keep striking my channel. And if he keeps failing to file actions against me after repeatedly filing copyright strikes, doesn't matter how many paid subs he's got, his channel is going to get wiped out, and mine's going to just be just the same as it always was. Unmonetized, proudly unmonetized, proudly demonetized. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I got confused. So, X, you're saying Seabowels has shit on you? I mean, with a name like Seabowels, I guess shitting is what he does. But is that what you're saying, X, that Seabowels shit on you? And so both Balgag, Brennan, and Seabowels can both get effed? Okay. I thought that was a different person commenting. Okay. Pam is an NCP, what they blame for everything. It's cute. FAFO. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, Pam. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not asking you to divulge anything private. I mean, that dude divulges so much private stuff. You know what I mean? It's like that dude divulges stuff and then says people are stalking and doxing him. It's like, no, dude, you put shit out there all over the internet. Like, it's clear where you're skateboarding every day. Like, there's signs in the background that are easily provable of where you are. Like, I mean, that's not doxing, that's not harassment, that's not threatening. That's you choosing to be an internet celebrity and then acting like it's somebody else's problem that people find you. It's just, it don't make sense. Yeah, I mean, X, you can share or not share anything you want to share, and you can use pseudonyms, and you can use enough detail that people get the picture without having a, no any, like, I mean, this is free speech, and this is how free speech rolls. And restraining order or no restraining order, I know Mr. Bowles subscribes to all of my channels because it shows up every time he subscribes and unsubscribes. Um, I know Mr. Patriot subscribes to all my channels because it shows up when he subscribes and unsubscribes. I mean, it doesn't show up when they unsubscribe, but it shows up like every few days that they resubscribe. So I guess they subscribe when they want to stalk shit, and then they unsubscribe when they want to go bother other people. Seabowles is in his Grammy home being a lame ass Bam wannabe. Lima will pay for his subs. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. This crew seemed very familiar with Mr. Bowles. That's all I gotta say. They seemed pro Seabowles, in my opinion. And so I wonder if a lot of what they talked to Jamie about related to that whole thing. Because I wasn't there. I mean, yeah, he's always itching his hair. It's really, it's giving like a lot of parasites living inside that big ball of, a lot of parasites living under that dirty looking headband. Yeah, Medusa. Medusa. Marge Simpson. Yeah, lice. Lice and God knows other things. Sometimes I see little things flying in and out of there. Lice don't fly that I know of, but sometimes I see little like specks of stuff flying out from the dreadlock nest monster. Yeah. Okay, I just saw an interesting comment from X and I want to focus on it for a second. But something's going on with my thing. Okay, so let me just pop out the chat so I can see this a little bit better. Okay, so so X says, we in Seabowell's crew knew nothing about the whole BJ saga till Bryn shoved it along with many other things Bryn wanted him to push down people's throats. He was just a puppet for her. LMO. Okay. Or IMO, in your opinion. Okay. X, I kind of have another question for that, and it involves another creator that I affectionately know as Metri Mama. I don't want to go down anything that could possibly start beef with her, because I am and have been and do not ever foresee being anything cool but because I am also a Metri Mama. Yeah, okay, so Clown Archives put that in there, that I'm talking about. Metri Mama is also known as the thing I'm going to pin right now. So my understanding is that it was Metri Mama who even put BJ on Bryn's radar back in maybe between January and June of 2023. And by the time Bryn fell out with Metri Mama, Bryn was already sucking up to Steph. Bryn was already scouting for somebody that had a connection to BJ to be able to clout chase off of BJ. Yes, X, talking about Ms. Chronic, yes. And I know that I don't want to go down any Eli rabbit hole on this. I think that's completely irrelevant to all of this, because Eli even said he got drawn into stuff that, he didn't really know anything about. But basically, Britton used Ms. Chronic to try to like get known in BJ's community. And then when Ms. Chronic and Brennan fell out, I guess, over some misunderstanding about, Eli and all that. I don't care. Not my business, not my problem, not my story to tell. Wish everyone well in that scenario, because honestly, I mean, Eli's gone kind of over the edge lately, but I had really nothing. I mean, X, you can remember me coming into his chat trying to be like normal and peaceful, and y'all all freaking out because I was there. Like, I was literally trying to just be a bridge, the same way you're trying to be a bridge right here, X. I was trying to be a bridge into Progressive Patriots community to be like, look, maybe take a look at this from another angle. Like, quit hating on me just because I happen to come cross paths with these people that you either are super loyal to or decided you don't like. Like, I'm new to this whole situation and I'm just trying to piece this all together. And I'm really not a bad person if you get to know me. But you know, that doesn't really get as many clicks and views as other ways of playing it do. So I understand the YouTube game. I'm just an NPC in the YouTube game, I guess you would say. Okay, can you tell me, did y'all all meet through Free from Fetters Grove X? Is that the community where you and C-Files and Bryn, or had you known C-Files before Free from Fetters Grove? Had you known C-Files before Upchurch Kylie Rodney X? I'm just trying to piece it all together. Not trying to intrude, but just trying to get some kind of a timeline that gives everybody a fair shot at coming out of this without, you know, any more bullshit legal crap. I feel like wherever Brennan goes, lawyers make bank. Yeah, Fair X says, I think we all see it for what it is now, Bonnie. Many of us were played and kept mum separately, so we couldn't put two and two together. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Goodness, the lightning is intense. The thunder is, I mean, it's really beautiful. Like, this is the exact kind of soundtrack that I like to have for my sleep soundtrack, is just rain and thunder and lightning. Whew. All right, so 9 watching, 2 people in the chat. That kind of usually creeps me out a little bit, but you know, it's all good. I'm gonna give it another like 3 or 4 minutes, see if anybody besides X, well, including X and the Clown Archives, if anyone else who's lurking and wants to say hello, all are welcome here. Doesn't matter who you are. I mean, if you're hearing your name mentioned derogatorily, speak up for yourself. You've got that right here on my channel. I'm not going to block you, but I'm also not going to continue to indulge freaks like Bridget, or whatever the hell her real name is. Okay, X says, I warned PP a while back and he now sees too, but I understand he'll be piggy in the middle and that's why he's not coming forth. So, oh well. Yeah, and you know, he's still got some some juice left in dissing me on his channel, and that's all good. I'm happy to be fuel for anybody's fire. It means nothing to me when I Google my own name and his face pops up because he's ranting about me. I mean, you know, I'm secure enough in my own self-esteem that he can say whatever the hell he wants about me, and I'm gonna laugh if it's funny and ignore it if it ain't. Oh, okay. I just saw this message here. X says, yes, I was around and met Dude and Fetters through the Tony Dodge Live, and that's how I met C-Files. I was a PP sub first. Okay. All right. Cool. That's good to know. I'm gonna forget that because it's just too many different channels that I know too little about, but it helps. It helps to put some context in here. X, do you know an approximate date, like a month, like a calendar month and year when Brennan first stuck her claws into the young Mr. Fowler? I don't mean literally like physically stuck her claws in, but like virtually, like when she first, sort of seduced him through the chat or whatever, however this went down. I'm just kind of trying to get a timeline because of a whole other situation that I have talked about on my channel before that I'm trying to piece together. I'm kind of trying to tie in how long before November 1st, 2022 did Brennan meet C-Files. That's what I'm trying to tie in. Because there's a big significance to October 31st in a lot of what I am piecing together. Okay, I don't really understand this message I'm about to pin, X, so I'm going to read it out and I'm going to pin it. It says, the phone call from Pap. I don't know who Pap is. The phone call from Pap confirmed to me that it's Bryn behind the Bonnie the Bully channel. So obvious, LOL. I don't know who Pap is or what that phone call is about, but I can tell you that the voice I spoke to claiming to be Bridget was not Brennan's voice, and it was not a garbled version of Brennan's voice. It was another human being that is probably very close to Bryn. It was another human being whose voice I had never heard before. And I've talked to that person not once, but twice, and their voice was consistent and their personality was consistent. And I am believing that the person I spoke to behind that channel is the person that has also lurked on my channel, formerly under Jess777, under Sunny Valentine, and under most recently Weaver of Words. And everything they told me about themselves tracks with a lot of what that person had said all along in my chat, going back as far as like December, January. Oh, the phone call from Progressive Patriot confirmed to you, X, that it's Bryn behind the Bonnie the Bully channel. So obvious, LOL. All right, it's Bryn behind it, but she always uses human shields to avoid any possible accountability for her fuckery. She uses her own fucking children as human shields. She is disgusting. She is despicable. She is, I'll use her favorite word, gross. She's a boil on the ass of humanity. Brennan, Seiler, Bell, Leighton, Fowler, Emerald, Gemstoner, Loser, loser, loser. Yeah, I mean, she can get she is skilled. I will give her that. She is highly skilled. And if she weren't such a depraved, soulless, godforsaken piece of DNA, I'd almost have some respect for her. But it's hard to respect someone who has zero self-respect and an enormous ego. But I hope she does do this interview with Hot Snakes. Because I mean, if she can hold up under the kind of pressure that I was under yesterday, I'll at least get to see something real out of her ugly, you know, horse's mouth. But yeah, she's probably too chicken shit to do that. Hey, Dusty, how you doing? I hope it's okay that I called you Dusty. Or I'll just call you TCB for life if you prefer that. Hey, how you doing? All right. X says, I concur. It's mind-boggling though. I'm Gen X. So am I. I'm Gen X as well. People try to call me a boomer, but I'm Gen X, damn it. I don't give a F deep down, LOL, other than having intelligence insulted. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I don't claim to be pretty. I don't claim to be nice. I don't claim to be anything, but my intelligence has gotten me this far. And when you try to dispute my intelligence, that's where the ugliest parts of me will come out at you. Because yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, I figured we were okay with that. Yeah, I just people get weird. People say you're doxing them if you just use a name that might or might not be their government name. I don't know. It's just people change their YouTube handles so often that it's hard for me to keep up with who's who. Okay, so like I was calling somebody base girl a few days ago, and now I'm calling them X. And you've been on here a lot of times as TCB for life. So, but I've heard other people call you Dusty, so I just was making sure that was not, doxing or whatever. I'm very YouTube. I'm very new to these YouTube streets, but boy, have I been at the most dangerous intersection of them in my limited time on here. Y'all, I'm just gonna go get some water because I'm still pretty dehydrated from the freaking heat wave I just survived. Be right back. Okay, well, I'm back from getting my water. Don't see anything else in the chat. Looks like only 6 people still watching. So again, I don't have any kind of a cutoff time. Um, y'all are welcome to hang out, ask questions or don't. I'm just sitting here hydrating. Their YouTube streets are going live tonight. X seen a post earlier. I don't know about YouTube streets. I don't know what that means. Is that like code for something y'all don't want me to come and watch? Because okay, yeah, I've heard this whole DC Irish thing. I don't. There's certain rabbit holes that I'm too. I'm afraid to go down just because I have so much else on my plate I'm trying to keep up with. Okay, so it's called Their YouTube Streets. It's just called YouTube Streets. Oh, Drama Prison Channel. Okay. That sounds like something I'd like. But again, I don't want to like it too much because I really want to try to manage my time better. And going live every morning at 8 a.m. has been a really good like kind of um routine for me. And when I couldn't make my live yesterday, maybe the day before, like I was like, I knew something was up. Like I used to do Pilates every day. And when Discord kind of interfered with my Pilates regime, all hell broke loose. And I could feel that kind of starting to happen yesterday with this whole hot snakes thing and like me not being able to get, you know, my live out that I was supposed to be doing about Bam Margera yesterday. And okay. A man who faked his death hurt a lot of people. Yeah, that's our BS Bonnie. LOL. Um, okay, a man who faked his death. So that kind of sounds a lot like what people were saying about Pam, like there being like some kind of fake death of Pam, aka Peaceful Pug. So I don't know. I am trying to understand everything. Oh, thank you, X. Yes, it's an issue that affects us so many times, and a lot of times it affects us multi-generationally. You know, like if someone is an alien, is alienated from a parent, they are much more likely to find themselves alienated from their own children in the future. So this is like a real breaking the cycle of trauma type of a thing. And I'm just so glad that I somehow, that I crossed paths with it. And whether or not I'm able to reunite with one or both of my kids, it's already been so healing to be around other people that are going through this same, indescribable loss. And so, yeah, it's such a blessing to be part of this community. So Peaceful Pug thing. Yeah, I mean, Peaceful Pug was a really wild thing for many different reasons. But yeah. Weaver of Words is not Pug, I don't think. Weaver of Words is Jess 777, aka Sunny Valentine, aka Bonnie the Bully. Now, I think. And Peaceful Pug, I guess, is now the Clown Archives. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to follow along. I'm trying to follow along with this whole LARPing nonsense, but you know, I'm just a Gen Xer. Regardless, I just want to say, if under any alias you come on my channel and we get along. I don't care what your government name is. I don't care who you are. As long as you act like a decent human being. And if we disagree on something, we talk it out and don't go make hate videos about it, you know? I just think that I think Brennan's hole is dug so freaking deep. And she dug it herself. But there's not enough people in the world to help her climb out of it now. Because there's too many of us that have seen the truth. Yeah, you would go back on old lives and people saying hello to Pug. Yeah, and it was very weird. It was all very weird, and it kind of happened in real time. And I was trying to avoid that chat as much as I could, just because it was literally traumatizing me. But people were sending me, screenshots and like sending me like links, like, oh, you got to go see what they're saying now. And all this, and I'd be supposed to be like, whatever. It was just, it was hateful. It was awful, but I'm a survivor and I survived it. And I learned so much from every ridiculous thing I have to survive, because these are indeed first world problems. Like YouTube drama is like as far up on the food chain of first world problems as we're ever going to get. So there's that. Yeah. So weaver of words. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm taking your word for it, Dusty. And you've probably got a lot more context to go with than I have. So yeah. Dusty, I asked X this earlier. Um, do you have any insight into whether anybody from the Carney Army interviewed with Hot Snakes Media on this Free Bam Margera documentary? Have you heard any rumblings about that? Because I'm getting mixed signals and mixed information on it. And X said that she doesn't know. All right, so X says, I think they came in later in peace when it seemed like C-Files channel was becoming fully the Bryn show. I almost taken over and brainwashed C-Files by the time Pug was in there. Sorry, C-Files, but true. Yeah, because I think Pug came in there from this Discord server. I think Pug was somebody that was in Steph's Discord server, and Bryn love bombed them and brought them into the Carney Army from that surprise army. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. You're staying out of it. Got it. Yeah, I understand. And I again, like, I thought X was being loyal too, but then X said earlier, like, no, C-Files burnt that bridge. But I appreciate that C-Files has at least one or two guys in his corner that can maybe be there when he needs them, because ain't a damn man on this planet that doesn't need a dude friend after Brennan's all over him. Ball gags Brennan all over him. Okay. I respect that. I think men need friends, and I think my son needs friends. I think my brother needs friends. And as hateful as C-Files has been toward me, I would even be his friend in the future if he needed a friend to process the shit that Brennan put him through if and when he ever wakes up to it. But if he doesn't, that's on him. He's a grown-ass man and he's got a freaking restraining order against me right now. So, you know, there's that. Okay. Oh, hey, Clown Archives. Yeah, Stephanie video is right about Brendan. That is true. Stephanie, and you know, broken clock is right twice a day, and Stephanie is no different than, and I'm the brokenest clock in the room. So I'm right twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, because the more broken the clock you are, then the anyway. Long story short, what I'm talking about is Hot Snakes Media, which is producing a series for Investigation Discovery, which is also going to be airing on Max, which used to be HBO Max. So it's a major production that has been reaching out to people from Brennan's Rolodex, let's say, because I'm old, I call it a Rolodex. Reaching out to people through Brennan, has been using Brennan as a way to recruit people to be interviewed for this Bam Margera documentary. And since C-Files has rebranded his channel to be so much more about skateboarding, I'm interpreting that as a signal that he is or is about to be interviewed by them as far as his opinions on the Bam Margera situation. Yeah, Dusty and Rachel, and I know Rachel's character and Rachel knows my character. So I respect that. I respect anyone. I put a lot of stock in Rachel's recommendations and warnings, put it that way. In fact, Rachel kind of tried to warn me about Nola Lola, but I wasn't listening. But Rachel picked up on some energy from Nola Lola that she kind of checked in with me like, hey, Bonnie, are you sure we want to trust Nola Lola with all this? And I was like, yeah, girl, she's from Marrero. Yeah, we can trust her. Okay, Clown Archives. Now, Dusty, you don't need to fight with Clown Archives because this is just how they are. This is just their humor. It's nothing personal against your friend. Yeah, that's cool. Just a working man and stepdad and all about your family. That's amazing. Okay, Clown Archives. I'm enjoying your humor. I just don't want people to, you know, feel the need to defend C-Files because, you know, yes, exactly. That's what she does. She triangulates. You know, as soon as I saw Rachel's post about triangulation back in May or June of last year, so over a year ago, Rachel posted something that was very discreet. She didn't name names, but she just made a general enough public service announcement that I could see exactly what she was trying to say. And the timing was exactly when Rachel cut ties with Bryn latched on to Steph. And that's like completely exactly what X just said there. Trolls gonna troll in every area code. I caught trolls in different area codes. Yes, and again, to those of you who don't know the Clown Archives, I clarified earlier that despite rumors to the contrary, and despite my straightness, I have no disdain for Pride Month. I did say I think it's gotten too political, but I don't disdain the original intent of Pride Month with the rainbow flag. I think that putting 75 different stripes on a flag is ridiculous, but I have no problem with the rainbow flag. And in fact, I hope I can do something to celebrate Pride a little bit more directly with people. Well, like I said, I go to this place almost every night called Barrio, and they're very big on the Pride. So that's kind of how I support. That's kind of how I support Pride this year. All right, so I think it's been yes, Rachel is real AF. In fact, she's raw AF. She is just, yeah, and she has had a very real and at sometimes relatable and at sometimes heartbreakingly unbelievable life. And the fact that she was targeted by Brennan just makes me realize that like any one of us can be manipulated. And those of us who are lucky to get out of it with as much dignity and class as Rachel did, you know, we have her to thank for being there waiting for us to wake up to the nonsense. Yeah, I knew Tiff was kind of Tiff is kind of an argument, and Rift is a big thing. So I thought Tiff was kind of a merging of the two words Tiff and Rift. But you know, if it was an unintentional spelling mistake, it's fine. I'm not gonna be the spelling Nazi that I used to be. Oops, did I say a word that I'm gonna get deep? Oh, I'm not monetized anyway, so I can say real words all I want on YouTube. Okay. Okay, let's see. Clown Archives. I'm a California-born, California-living lover. Brett Grace and I are always at the same places. Oh, well, in that case, tell Brett Grace, you know, tell Brett Grace I gave Jamie the headband that he and I were supposed to wear at the court next week. So maybe Jamie and Brett can go to court next week and show up for BJ. I would love that. I would love to see pictures of that, Clown Archives. Absolutely, Dusty. When that girl Bryn came in Seafowl's life, that girl just put him in a bunch of drama and bullshit, real talk. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, Jamie still really feels sad of leaving Seafowls behind. But, you know, Jamie woke up to Brennan. Okay, Clown Archives, yes. I agree with everything you wrote there, but I just don't want to be amplifying too much detail over and over and over again, because I don't judge people on how they earn their income. I just respectfully don't want people to judge me on the fact that I might be a customer. I don't like people criticizing people who drink when they earn their money as a bartender. You know what I mean? And I don't like people criticizing people who do OnlyFans when they earn their money at a strip club as a cocktail waitress. Okay? I don't like that. And so, you know, and also, as I've said many times before, my family owns a freaking plot of land that Hooters has been our tenant for 35 years. And so, I mean, I actually enjoy Hooters. I enjoy the food there. I find that the waitresses' uniforms a little bit distracting, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of people that have been Hooters waitresses at some point or another, and you know, it is what it is. I just don't want to be judged for having a freaking beer at the end of the day, because Brennan, the only way she can control Casey is by convincing him that there is no other way besides abstinence to recover. And when I tried to share the Sinclair method with people in Steph's community, and people legitimately went to check it out, that's when Brennan got really over the top and like, she shouldn't be promoting drinking. That's like bad for Seafowls. It's like, okay, who the hell is Seafowls and what does he have to do with any of this? And what, you know, what now? What now? All right, Clown Archives, you're very humorous. I find you very funny. Hey, the Clown Archives, you said you go to a lot of the same places Brett Grace goes. Do you ever see Sloan out and about in LA? Yeah, as X says, I don't wish bad for C-Files one bit, just enlightenment. Exactly. Exactly. Because I mean, you know, neither Bam Margera nor C-Files are my cup of tea or ever going to be my cup of tea. But can I appreciate how they shine when they're on a skateboard? Yes, I can. Do I want any of my kids to follow in that risky of a lifestyle? No, I don't. But, you know, if my kids are grown ass adults, if they want to be skateboarders, they can. I can appreciate someone's craft and someone's skills and someone's passion in life, even if I don't particularly like their personality. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it would be a brilliant development if somehow through all this, you know, Seafowls either, you know, triples down and commits to Bryn and just, you know, settles into a life with her, and, you know, like that is what it is and all that. Or he says, man, I'm a young dude and people like me and I'm going to play the field a little bit and ride this whole YouTube and skateboarding wave as far as it takes me. But I think this middle ground of them denying each other and then clinging to each other and denying each other and clinging to each other and triangulating and her trying to get other women with him and stuff, it's just it's toxic. It's toxic. Seafowl's comments on bully page tells you everything. Yeah, yeah. So basically, anybody that bully puts up there is someone who has turned against Brennan. Okay, so I've turned against Brennan, therefore I'm a bully. Jamie has turned against Brennan, therefore Jamie's a bully. X has turned against Brennan, therefore X is a bully. Okay, the only thing Jamie myself and X have in common is that we turned against Brennan. Okay. So basically, all that says is that even if the entity behind that account, Bonnie the Bully or Bully Busters or whatever they go by, beware of Bonnie Dwyer, even if the entity behind that account is not Brennan, like literally posting those videos, it's someone that is so struck by her, that is so see you next Taco Tuesday struck by Brennan, that they're going to just repost everything she does. Someone maybe like Michelle DB 007 disappearing off the internet, 1L, 2L, 3L, or as I like to call her, Mick Hell, like MIC, Hell, Hellish Michelish, who has everybody's effing government name because Stephanie Coban gave it to Michelle DB, not her real name, Michelle Diane Belmont 007 Biznatch, yada, 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 yada. Okay, Clown Archives. It's Brennan or C-Files or Michelle or Lewis or Jess 777. Yeah, because yeah, you're right, Clown Archives. That the person behind that Bully Busters account is very loyal to Lewis. And Jamie was very loyal to Lewis as well. Lewis, who now goes by Gary the Snail or something like that. Yeah, so that's interesting. So Dusty says, TCB for Life says, I've known C-Files before he had a channel, met him on Tony Dodge channel. Okay, what year was that TCB for Life? Was that in 2022, 2023, earlier? Because I don't know how long his channel has been around. I really don't. I mean, because like it says it says I've had a channel since 2011, but I didn't start putting content on it until like a year and a half ago, if that. August 2022. Okay. So that's when you met C-Files. So, but had Brennan known C-Files before August 2022? Or did she meet him on Tony Dodge's channel as well? Okay, so the Clown Archives says Brennan leached on after Upchurch. But again, how does that compare to August 2022? When does Upchurch begin? And it's just the other person that's kind of been absent, but bump in all this is this person named Appa, APPA, who was a moderator in the Goddesses Rising Discord, and who at one point was doing some videos with Brennan, Well, they didn't have their cameras on, but they were doing some audio on a couple of topics that were of interest to some people. And then Appa all of a sudden flips and goes on, like, Steph, like acting like Appa's been somehow harassed by me or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird, this whole click. Like, I used to say beware of clickbait, and I wouldn't spell click like CLICK, like clicks and views. I would say clickbait, like CLIQUE, like the French word for like a group of, gaggling women or whatever. So yeah, like this whole Steph click that has, that has Brett as the token dude, and then this whole Brennan click that has Seaballs as the token dude. It's just, it's emasculating, it's ridiculous, it's degrading, it's foolish, and it's shameful that each of these people individually I would have no problem with. But the fact that people flock to Steph, and the fact that people flock to Bryn, and the fact that they each point the finger at each other about how awful I am, it's boring as fuck. And I'm in it's my actual life. Appa is Nicole and Can't Silence ally. I don't know about that, the Clown Archives. I would need some like literal verification of that, which you can email to bamandahlia@gmail.com. That's BAMANDAHLIA@gmail.com. Clown Archives, you're going to need to prove me that, because I've spoken to Appa and I've spoken to Pam. So if what you're saying, Clown Archives, is that Can't Silence All of Us was not Pam, this is just, yeah, this is too many loose threads on that theory right there. But if you can prove it to me, I'll run with it. But I'm not gonna endorse that statement until I have like literal proof that would hold up in a court of law in my jurisdiction, aka federal court in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Bitches. So Base Girl says maybe Bryn brought C-Files and Eli together. Possibly. Like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. I don't know what that means. Think old girl is a freak X. I don't know what that means, but whatever. As long as y'all are getting along, I'm happy to sit here and facilitate the kumbaya. Appreciate you too, X. I'm just gonna get some more water. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Let's see. Okay, hang on now. It looks like I missed a lot. All right. So, Clown Archive says, I blame Pam for all. Dusty says, and Eli is all talk and no action. Clown says, Pam N. Pam MB. X says, I tend to agree with you nowadays about that, Dusty. Clown says, Pam NDMD. I don't know what that's about. The Clown Archive says, all are Pam and PM is all, and all hail Pam ND. I don't know what that means. TCB for Life says, Bryn is channel hopper wherever there is drama. Old Stir Stick puts in her 2 cents. Facts. Word up. And you have seen it in real time, Dusty, so I do respect your opinion on that. Clown says, making fun of Carney Dave stuff. I don't know what the Dave stuff is all about. I don't know what the Dave stuff is all about. TCB, what? Bryn is a troll? I mean, maybe TCB wants to check out Stephanie's musical. I got trolls in different area colors. All right, so X says, he rang me a couple of weeks ago. I now wonder if it's just to be on good terms with all, but not help truth come out. He could have, but again, doesn't speak up. Dusty says, wouldn't say troll, more like H, you know the rest. X facts, Dusty, channel hopper, for real, for real. Clown says, speak out, base girl, we listening. Clown says, TCB, she a troll. X says, I am Bits and Bobs, the Clown Archives. Okay, so you are speaking out, Bits and Bobs, the Clown Archives. Got it. Okay. So I think that catches me up with whatever I missed in the chat. Like I said, I'm just chilling out here. I just don't have much more to say unless people have questions for me. Appreciate the 8 people watching. Yeah, X has a question. You saying all hail Dave is who? I don't know what that's all about. I really never understood that hail Dave thing. Yeah, who is Dave? I've even heard BJ talk about Hail Dave. Hasn't BJ said something about Hail Dave at some point? Hasn't BJ said something about the clown saying Hail Dave? And again, clown, I know you know exactly who BJ is, but I don't think that TCB or X knows who BJ is. I mean, they probably know remotely now, but like they didn't. It's so ridiculous. It's funny. No worries. Clown Archives flag that. Okay. Oh, okay. So Dusty says, my buddy came up with that. All hail Dave. It was a joke. A sub came up with that. Do you know who the sub is, or are you willing to say who the sub is? Because I always thought it was Dave that lives with Jamie. I always thought it was this old man that Jamie lives with, Dave. But I hadn't really followed it before like November of 2023. Oh, okay, so ex base girl, you do know who BJ is and you like her work. That's awesome. And fun fact, BJ actually follows Miss Chronic Chronicles. So there's that. Oh, forging. Okay, forging thoughts, I think, or something like that. Yeah, I know Rachel has said good things about forging. So forging came up with Hail Dave. Got it. Okay. See, I think BJ was following Rachel for a long time, and then Brennan suddenly somehow got BJ to follow Brennan, and then and then a few of us got together and alerted people who alerted people who alerted people, and then Brennan was blocked by BJ, and Brennan got super mad, super duper mad at that. Oh, interesting. So you are a true crime sub. Okay. Well, I guess if you like true crime, base girl, then this whole Hot Snakes Media thing is kind of on that angle because this is going to be on Investigation Discovery, which I guess is technically a true crime channel now. I don't know. I don't know the different genres. I'm not genres to me are just labels, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, like Hot Snakes Media has a lot of different genres, but this particular one, the Curious Cases with Beth Karas, which is what was interviewed for yesterday. That's focusing on BJ and Bam and Lima Jovanovic. It's technically under the true crime umbrella, even though there's no criminal cases that I know of yet. It's all like civil court cases that are currently involved with it. Well, I guess the criminal part of it is Jess Margera accusing Bam of attacking him, and Linda Omar accusing Dahlia of attacking her, and Larry Rabb accusing Amanda of attacking him. And then all three of these people getting shafted up the arse by Lima Jovanovic. So yeah, I guess there is crime. There are criminal, and then Dia Dima just getting arrested in Irvine, California a couple months ago. So yeah, I guess there is some crime element to it. Okay, so the Watts case. That was the one where the dude killed the woman and the kids and put them in some kind of a like a tower receptacle or something, like a cement thing or something. I don't know. I think I know. Is it Shannon or something like that? I think I've listened to some podcasts about that. So X says you remember seeing Amanda on Mark's channel ages ago. And so I have really been speaking out against Mark Leda. Um, and it's not against his free speech. It's against his choices to exploit children. Because as much as I believe in free speech, I do not believe in exploiting children. So, and as someone who experienced homelessness, um, you know, if I had met a Mark Leda while I was homeless, would I have interviewed with him? Probably. Not for money, just because, you know, everybody wants to tell their story. But when he puts underage women on there and calls them S workers, calls them prostitutes, and you can see through their clothing to their breasts, that is absolutely crossing so far over a line that I'm surprised Mark Leda has not been taken out by that girl's family. I mean, I'm just saying, like if he had tried that in other communities, I guess in Los Angeles, anything goes. But if he had tried that in New Orleans or Boston or New York, nah, he wouldn't have lived past the time he premiered that video. I mean, that is so far over the line of decency. But I guess Los Angeles, there's no decency left to even have there. Lima can't get Bam now, he's married, but if Danny wants to collaborate with Lima, I hope not. I hope Danny's authentic. But if Danny, I mean, I don't know. I hope you're right, clown. I hope you're right. You're getting off work, listening, much love. Yeah, have a good night. Drive safe, Dusty. Safe home. Okay. Oil barrel. Yeah, that was so sad. That was awful. What happened with those? Oh, that was terrible. Oof, that was a terrible, terrible, awful case. Yes, that was very sad. Shannon, yep. Bella and Cece. Oh, that's so sad. You still support the family. Shannon's mom has a cooking channel. Oh, wow. That's nice. Shannon was in the ground close by. Oh, and Nico was, oh God, so sad. Oof. Yeah, I've been following a couple of true crime podcasts here in Massachusetts. I'm not really following the Karen Read trial because it hits a little too close to home on a few levels. I don't want to see anybody on that witness stand that I've seen in real life. And B, I just don't care. I mean, it's a drunk driving case at the end of the day to me. You know, if you take out the Boston Police Department stuff about it, it's like, I mean, was she drinking and driving? Yes. Could she have run over him intentionally or unintentionally and just been too drunk to know? Yes. Is anything going to raise him from the dead? No. But have I been, as I said, and I've said this on my channel before, I'll say it again, down the pub a week or two ago when people were talking about Karen Read, I just was kind of listening in and waiting for a pause in the conversation. All I said was, my opinion on that case is date a Boston police officer at your own risk. At your own risk. I sure did. I mean, like, like, had I known this dude was a cop, I would have never accepted a drink from him. And once he bought me that drink, that first drink, like, my life was completely infiltrated. And that was like in my first 3 months or 4 months of being homeless is when this cop bought me a drink in a bar. And I'm sure that happens on Skid Row all the time too. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. And I was a sophisticated 40-something-year-old woman when this happened. But when you're a woman, especially if you have lived a life of privilege as I had up to that point, suddenly being on the streets without a penny to your name in a shelter with girls that are literally, you know, like, could have been Amanda Rabb's twin sister doing the same thing Amanda Rabb had to do in Los Angeles, but, you know, in Boston, you know, very close to the bridge in South Boston where that whole, you know, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard movie was made that was about real people's lives that were really buying me drinks. So yeah, there's that. Okay. I'm learning a lot from this chat. It's so sad that there are so many different and equally horrific cases of depravity. Um, and oh yeah, I think that is a little bit overboard. So I don't censor. I'm going to read the message and I'm going to delete it. The Clown Archive says, seems like something a white clown with dreads would do. And I'm going to delete that message, not because I think there's anything wrong with it. Just because I think the point was made. And I also think I'm going to pin X's message because I want to emphasize that humor is not defamation. I want to emphasize that free speech is paramount here in the US, where I believe both the Clown Archives and I am. But I also want to be respectful of people from other cultures. And I love that haka that you put out there, where we don't want to go overboard with, even humorous accusations that can be twisted to form narratives that are just going to give fuel to people like Brennan to run some sort of some sort of narrative around that. So yeah. What you said about white clown with dreadlocks, with when we're talking about the family, I think that was over the line, clown. I still respect your rights to say it. I just don't want it stuck there on my channel. I read it and I deleted it. Yes, I understand that you don't roll like that, and I agree. However, again, I've had to block other people before, and that's why I don't have mods anymore, because if somebody's gonna get blocked, I want it to be me blamed, not somebody else. So I think the dialogue has been going perfectly well with some spice tonight. But again, I don't have a hard stop, but I also don't have any need to say anything else myself. So, I don't want people getting into fights when it seems like we're all here for similar reasons. So yeah, no, clown, just so you see, you said Chris admitted he killed his family, but what you also said something about a clown with dreadlocks, and that was going down a little bit of an angle that's too soon, let's say. Okay. And too soon, and also detracting from the seriousness of what did happen to Shannon's family. And my God, I wouldn't wish that on anybody's family, not even. Okay, that's cool, clown, that you have dreads and yours are rainbow and clean. That's cool. Okay. It's not about criticizing the dreads. It's about saying that the Watts case is like someone with dreadlocks would do. You were making a bridge there to something that was gonna be weaponized by Bryn, in my opinion. So let's not do that on this channel or any other channel, quite frankly. You can send me a DM with those kind of things, and that's fine, but I don't want this in open chat where Brennan's going to be screenshotting it and, posting it on her freaking change.org petition. Yes, exactly. X says, no disrespect to you clowns, just saying, I don't second that motion, Ari, about clown with dreads, meaning, yes, exactly. And nor am I. And clown, I mean, you are welcome to bash whoever you want, but I think it was diminishing the seriousness of what we were talking about with the Shannon Watts case to try to drag clowns into it. But I don't fault you for it. I'm just saying maybe you didn't realize how we took that particular statement. Yeah, no, yeah. Apology accepted and not necessary, because I think we're ready to move on to something else, or just say goodnight, whatever y'all want to do. I mean, it's what, is it Sunday now in Tomorrowland? X, or is it still Saturday? Oh, his girlfriend is guilty. Interesting, clown. Interesting, huh? Oh, you'd love to hear Base Girl speak because of her accent? Well, Base Girl, not right now, but at some other time. I think we have emails. We've emailed. I can send you a link to my Zoom, and we can on camera or off camera talk to people. That's up to you. The invitation's open. The invitation's open to you too, Clown Archives. I mean, I'll send anybody my Zoom link. X, when you're saying I should check that case out, it's heavy. I have checked out the Watts case, but I didn't understand the connection with the girlfriend. So, I mean, I know that there was a girlfriend, but I didn't know that she could possibly be culpable. I thought she was just kind of like, because I followed the Lacey Peterson case way back when. So I thought this girlfriend of Watts was kind of like the Amber, not Amber Heard, but Amber Fry. I thought, but maybe I'm totally mixing up things because I don't know all the details. X, Zoom is totally private unless we both agree to go live while we're on Zoom. So for example, like in the past, Jamie and I have been Zooming privately, and somebody came into the Zoom with us who identified themselves as someone else and turned out to be Brennan, because Jamie had proof of that later. She didn't admit that to me for months after the fact. But yeah, like I can DM you, I can email you a private link to Zoom, and it's just going to be you and me, and nobody else will have that link. And we can agree to record or not record. It's basically just like phone, but it's cheap and it's global. So you don't need to deal with like WhatsApp or any of the other stuff that we would need to do to talk by phone. Like we don't need to ever exchange phone numbers or anything like that. So yeah, it's private. And you can log in there under whatever, you can log in there under like, you know, I don't know, you can log in there under Johnny Depp if you want to. It doesn't matter to me what you put your name as in Zoom, but I'll talk to you and we can either record it or not record it. It's like you can only record something on Zoom if everybody agrees to the recording, because it always gives you an option to opt out before the recording begins. Okay, so Nicole Kessinger is the other woman in the Chris Watts case. I see what you're saying. Okay. I'll try to look into that in my spare time, which, hopefully I'll have some more spare time now that Hot Snakes has left town. Took up my whole damn week dealing with them. That and the heat wave and the lack of air conditioning up until today. Yeah, so Clown, not tonight, and we can do something live at some other time, but I just need to set a little bit of a boundary myself that I don't want to be like, doing stuff tonight. But yeah, we'll reconnect maybe even tomorrow sometime. It's already tomorrow where X is, but maybe even before Monday, wherever we each are, maybe we can each do individual Zooms, and then we can maybe do three of us together on Zoom and maybe go live if people are cool with that, or maybe, we'll figure it out. I just want to, like, I don't need community. I really don't. I prefer to deal with people as individuals, but I really want to build community very carefully on this channel because so many people have come and gone. And as soon as like something flares up, they just like start hating on each other. So I really just want to respect people who have taken their time to get to a place where they don't hate me. And I'd much rather maintain good individual relationships with each and every one of y'all that shows up on my channel than have there be more triangulation like we've all experienced with Brennan in other communities. I know you're not a Brennan clown. I know you're not. Clown, I think you, me, and Jamie would be a good three-way conversation to have on Zoom. And then X, I think you and I together on Zoom. And then maybe someday, like, we can have like 10 people on Zoom together, all going live together. Because we tried to do that. We tried to do that back on October 24th. There were like 5 or 6 of us. Brett was in the group. I think Appa was in the group. A lot of people were showing up in the group. And then something happened and like the live didn't work. But we did try to like have a panel to like. Okay, so Base Girl says, I'm only backing you because you are speaking truth in a subject people are scared to speak about. That's why I'm going slow also. Of course, yeah. And I mean, I totally respect that. Yeah, so all right, Clown, you've said that a couple of times. That doesn't track with my experience and my direct conversations with Appa and my direct conversations with Pam. Okay, so you came on here, Clown, telling me that you were Pam, whereas Can't Silence All of Us was introduced to me as Pam by herself, and that was verified by Jenna. And Appa was nothing to do with either Jenna or Pam. So when you keep repeating things like Appa is Can't Silence, that seems like you're fishing for information that does not track with my direct experience with either of them. Appa's voice is completely different than your voice, Pam, was when we spoke. And Can't Silence All of Us was Pam at one point. So maybe you're just another person named Pam, Clown, or maybe you're just kind of playing along to see what you can get. But I know that Base Girl's a real human being because I've seen her videos. And Clown, you're cool, but I just don't trust you as much yet as I trust Base Girl. Okay? All right. I too am very wary with all the extras. So Base Girl, I'm gonna DM you as soon as I shut down this live. Clown Archives, you are free to email me, bamandalia@gmail.com. That's BAMANDAHLIA@gmail.com. You can share any evidence with me of Pam, of who is Pam. Yep, okay. Pam is Pam, spam is spam, green eggs and ham. I'm gonna end this now because this is kind of starting to seem like the Clown Archives needs to get some rest, as do I. Have a blessed rest of your Friday or whatever. Oh gosh, it's Thursday. Oh my gosh, I keep thinking it's Friday. Have a blessed rest of your Thursday or whatever day it happens to be wherever you are, in Tomorrowland or the day after Tomorrowland or any of those places. Be safe. And please avoid the clowns. Just avoid.